The school I went was an Indian Air Force school. My father was in the armed forces as a scientist, so I fully know what that means and the sacrifices that they have to undergo in terms of family, fun, and entertainment. Something which I did in my life was certainly to make my nation more secure. Of course, may not be in terms of border security or home security, but in terms of adding value to our economy by aspiring to be an entrepreneur. So I hail from a family where entrepreneurship is seen as a sin. So it's a middle class family. We hail from Mysore. So my dad was in armed forces as a scientist. My mother was a homemaker. So I still remember I was in my 9th standard in my school, and I had my friends who were from well-off families. They had access to internet, they had access to PCs or computers. So they used to show off to me that they were actually from well-off family, they've got access to internet. And all my friends had email addresses. I didn't have an email address. I felt like an odd man out. So that time it was in the year, it was in the year 99 and 2000 when internet was in the boom and everyone wanted to show off that they had an email address, and I didn't have one. I was in my 9th standard, and I felt that, okay, so I also want to have an email address, and I requested my elder brother if he can accompany me to an internet shop or a cyber center where I can have an email address. So he agreed, he accompanied me to internet shop, he signed me up on an email account in hotmail.com. I was so excited. In fact, the next day morning, I went back to the school to share my email address with its username and the password. I wrote it on the blackboard, and I didn't know that when you have an email account, you're not supposed to share your password. But the misconception I had was they should have my password to log on to my mailbox to send me an email. So it was a simple kind of the knowledge with what I started off. I became a laughingstock of my school. Then I felt that, okay, internet is something which is exciting me, and I got the passion to learn something on the internet. And I knew that my father's paycheck would not allow him to invest on a PC or computer. So I didn't want to ask my father and actually embarrass him that he would say that he cannot afford it. So then, and the pocket money I had was like about 15 rupees per month. So the only option I saw was if you had to use the internet or a cyber cafe about, I think, about 14 years back, you had to pay about 100 rupees for every hour you use the internet center. And the pocket money I had was like 15 rupees. So whenever I was cycling back from my school to my home, I used to see one internet shop which was in my neighborhood, which was not open from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. The shop owner used to shut down his shop for his lunch break. So I requested the shop owner, I felt that's an opportunity, and I requested the shop owner if I can operate his shop when he goes for his lunch. In exchange, I will manage the internet for free of cost. I mean, I'll work for him for free of cost. So he still could have his lunch, and I can manage the visitors, and I could use the internet for free of cost. So it was an internet shop owner by name Shubdev, whom I still consider as my mentor. So he agreed that, okay, fine, I'll have this school kid to run this shop when he goes for lunch. He wanted my house landline number, my house address, so that he knows that I'm staying in such a house and I'm not taking away the money, or I'm not running away. So I knew that 99% this shop owner will not agree for a school kid to run the shop. But I knew that if I will not make that attempt, probably I would have sat back and I would have felt that, okay, my father cannot afford to buy me a home computer. I'm not from a rich family, so I don't have opportunities, so I simply have to focus on studies, academics, and do something. So I felt that sometimes in life, all that it takes is to make that first move where from an introvert you become an extrovert. You leave the shyness, you leave the fear if he says no, or the fear of failure, and still make an attempt. So that's exactly, it started with a simple internet shop. I started to learn how to build websites. So Shubdev started to advise me that, hey, so for how long will you be learning to build websites? Why don't you build websites for others? So I felt, okay, I can start making websites for others. He had some of the friends in the US. and he told you can start building websites for them. I told, okay, so websites, it could be as simple as that. I started to build websites for them. I have to earn like 5,000 rupees, 6,000 rupees for every website I used to build. And I never had a bank account, so all the money used to be hit to Shubdev's account, and after that he used to hand over me in cash. And it was some of his friends who were living in the US who wanted to build websites. They used to engage me in building websites. So one fine day, there was this American company called Network Solutions Incorporated. It's still in the US. So they asked me, they wanted some freelancers who could build websites for them, and they wanted to outsource some of the projects that they had. So they asked all the freelancers who are interested to send their CVs. So I'm sure all the students who are sitting here have made CVs in your life or have seen CVs in your life. So it was the first time I ever saw how does a CV look like, or how do you make a CV. And when I went to the internet, I saw that the standard format is what? Name, you need students to answer who made CVs. After that, your academic qualification, then the second page is your projects, experiences, hobbies that you have. So I was surprised that maybe the CV format should be in a way that the first page should have your experience, skills, and the second page should have your academics, but I didn't want to mess around with the format of a CV that's accepted everywhere. So I went out and filled that. I finished my 9th standard in CBSE board in Air Force School with X percentage. And the first page was almost empty, but the second page had all those listings of the websites I did and the programming languages I knew, and I sent the CV to this company. And this was an American company, so with all sarcasm, they sent me an email saying that I'm happy to see your CV, Suhas, but I think at your age, I don't think you even will have a mustache. And we feel insecure to work with school kids on our projects, and we're not interested to outsource any of our projects to you because you lack that experience. Even though I had shown my experience, they felt that actually with age comes wisdom, which I fully agree, but I also feel that with experience would come wisdom as well. So finally, this American company told we can't hire with you, and I think it was the first rejection I faced in my life. And I think that's exactly where the fire in my belly was ignited, where I felt that when an American as Bill Gates could start his company at his backyard, so why not I start my company from this internet shop here? And I asked Shubdev that, okay, I want to be my own boss, I want to start my own software company, how do I do that? Because if I'm a software company, if I've got my own company, and if I'm the CEO of my own company, people will take me more seriously than I'm a freelancer. He told in India, you can't even open a bank account if you're under 18, so you can't start your company here. So he suggested that why don't you, until you're 18 years, why don't you start a S corporation company in the US? We can sit here and incorporate it, and of course, after you're 18, you can start, you can move your operations to India. So sitting at that internet shop, as you saw in the video, I was wearing my school uniform on August 1st, 2001, when I went out to the cyber center to incorporate my firm. Actually, in the US, it hardly costed 5,000 rupees for you to incorporate a company in the US. And I started it in the US as a home office. And of course, the best part is you need one of the registered office address there. And you have these agencies, or if you have any friend who has an apartment, you can use his address to incorporate the company in the US. So we finally started the operation in the US. It was a one-man show. Then, so after I started, I used to approach some of the American companies if they want to outsource their, in fact, the work to me onto my company. So we started to make some of the websites, we started to build some applications for them. And of course, Shubdev used to help me in this whole process.